Good Monday morning, and thank you for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Jason Hackett. Let's get to your headlines. New details today on the man who police say shot a student, then himself, at Stewartville High School last Friday. This morning, Olmsted County Sheriff Kevin Torgerson identified the gunman as 19-year-old Logan Moyer. Moyer graduated from Stewartville High School in 2024 and competed as a wrestler, but the sheriff emphasized Moyer had no current affiliation with the team.
Moyer was not a coach, a volunteer, or a paid staff member of the wrestling program at Stewartville.
The student injured in the shooting is listed in critical but stable condition. Students did return to class today. The superintendent says extra support staff will be on hand for students and staff this week. Breaking this morning, Rob Reiner's son has been arrested after the director and his wife were found stabbed to death in their Los Angeles home. Jail records show Nick Reiner is being held on $4 million bail. Police have been investigating the deaths as a homicide since Sunday night. Reiner is considered one of Hollywood's biggest directors. Conan Nolan reports on his life.
Ma! You have to be kidding!
America first came to know him as the hippie son-in-law of the blue-collar bigot Archie Bunker, played by Carol O'Connor in the 70s TV comedy All in the Family. It ran for 9 seasons.
Boss, he's not my son, Gloria. I mean,
get your hands off my daughter, you balloon!
While there were other acting roles, it was behind the camera that Rob Reiner had his cinematic impact, inventing the modern romantic comedy with Harry Met Sally with Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal. The often quoted The Princess Bride, which has been newly rediscovered by younger audiences. And the military courtroom classic A Few Good Men, where Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson faced off over a murder at the U.S. military base in Guantanamo, Cuba. He once told talk show host Howard Stern that he learned filmmaking from his father, Carl Reiner, himself an actor and screenwriter who had often worked with Steve Martin.
Now, I can tell you that it wasn't until, and this is now, I'm in my mid to late 30s, it wasn't until I did Stand By Me that I started feeling myself. And I thought, okay, I'm carved. I mean, a long, long time it took me to start to carve out my own
identity.
World. Yes.
Reiner was also active in politics. He routinely helped raise money for the Democratic Party. In 1998, he single-handedly championed Proposition 10, a 50-cent per pack tax on cigarettes to finance child education and health programs. He was also a fierce critic of President Trump. This was Reiner on the Jimmy Fallon Show during the president's first term in office.
Unless the public is informed, we don't have a chance to hold this democracy together. So we're trying, we're fighting, and, hopefully we will, because we love this country and we don't want to see it devolve.
Recently releasing Spinal Tap 2, a sequel 4 decades following his first movie, a satirical send-up of the then popular rock documentary. Rob Reiner was a virtuoso whose intent was to make his audiences laugh, understand life, and to take a stand. To many, he was the best of Hollywood.
We're also following breaking news out of Providence, Rhode Island this morning with a massive manhunt underway. Overnight, police released the man who was a person of interest in a deadly mass shooting at Brown University. That's after the state's attorney general said evidence is now pointing in a different direction.
I think what is really unfortunate that this person's name was leaked to the public. It's hard to put that back in the bottle.
Now, this is security video showing a person believed to be the shooter. You can see they're wearing dark clothing, but there's no clear image of their face. That shooting happened Saturday at an engineering and physics building on campus, killing 2 students and injuring 9 others. Now, while there is no immediate threat to Brown University at this time, all remaining undergraduate and graduate exams and projects for the fall semester have been canceled. University leaders say they are focusing on providing care and support for the community. The 2 mass shootings, a half world apart, dominating the headlines this morning and reigniting the issue of gun violence here at home. President Trump spoke about the deadly shooting at Brown and at Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia. Investigators designating that one a terror attack designed to target Jewish people. NBC's Alice Barr has the very latest from Washington.
President Trump offered condolences to the victims while Democratic lawmakers called for action on gun safety, and police in Rhode Island shifted focus in the Brown University investigation. After a weekend of devastating gun violence from the campus of Brown University in Rhode Island, where 2 people were killed, 9 injured in a classroom.
Rescue 1 just transported 1 victim.
to the shores of Sydney, Australia, with at least 15 people killed, close to 30 in the hospital in what investigators call an anti-Semitic attack. President Trump weighing in.
To the 9 injured, get well fast, and to the families of those 2 that are no longer with us, I pay my deepest regards and respects from the United States of America.
That as investigators in Rhode Island said overnight they were releasing a person of interest in the Brown shooting.
There was some degree of evidence that pointed to this individual, but that evidence needed to be corroborated and confirmed. That evidence now points in a different direction.
Security video shows a person believed to be the shooter with no clear image of their face. As investigators raced to track down the gunman, the mayor of Providence looking to ease the community's fears.
We have not received any credible or specific threats to the Providence community.
While in Australia, police have identified 2 suspects, a father and son, accused of terrorism targeting Jewish people who were celebrating the first day of Hanukkah at Bondi Beach, one of Australia's most popular tourist sites.
What was the most shocking was how long the gunfire lasted.
The 50-year-old suspect fatally shot at the scene, his 24-year-old son in custody and hospitalized with critical injuries, a bystander being hailed a hero for disarming one of the gunmen. Australian officials said they may move to tighten already strict gun laws, while on Capitol Hill, Democratic lawmakers again pressed to bring gun safety legislation to the forefront. One Brown University student was injured in a 2019 shooting at her California high school. Another was in the adjacent middle school during the 2018 Parkland mass shooting. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
We are live from Washington, D.C., where the clock is ticking for the House of Representatives to get something done about health care heading into their last work week of the year. Republicans are pushing their plan to try to lower costs as the deadline for Affordable Care Act subsidies looms. If they don't get something passed this week, many Americans could see their premium payments more than double at the start of the year. This morning, a Milwaukee County judge will be on the other side of the bench as her trial gets underway. Hannah Dugan is accused of helping a man escape federal immigration agents. This is video from the incident back in April. You see Dugan speaking with 2 people believed to be federal agents who were there to arrest an undocumented man when he appeared in court. They say she helped the man evade federal agents by allowing him to exit the courthouse through a restricted door. Agents did arrest the man shortly after he left the courtroom. Tonight, the Robbinsdale School Board is expected to vote on closing schools. Several schools are in danger because of ongoing financial issues with the district. Late last month, the school board presented its plan to the Robbinsdale City Council, citing the need to more efficiently use school space within the district. Their meeting starts at 6 o'clock tonight. Well, as the temperatures swing up this week, it's going to be important to watch out around your home. Fluctuating temperatures, lots of snow, and cold snaps are causing ice dams. So those ice dams can clog up the gutters, causing melting snow to seep into your home. And experts say things might get worse.
The damage normally includes interior finishes, warped flooring, mold in the walls, cabinet doors that don't like to open, that sort of thing.
So he says better insulation and heat cable systems are just some of the ways to protect your home. There are also services that will remove them using hot steam to melt through the ice. Well, the tragedy in Australia is weighing especially heavy on the hearts of Minnesotans who are part of the Jewish community. For the first night of Hanukkah, Adath Israel Synagogue held its annual car parade through the city of St. Paul. Heidi Wigdahl takes us there for this week's Communities That Care.
To mark the beginning of Hanukkah, there's a special tradition in St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, now more than 25 years strong.
At Adath Israel Synagogue.
It's the first night of Hanukkah. We have a grand parade, which we have menorahs on top of our cars with music and different floats, and we drive throughout St. Paul to spread the light of Hanukkah.
Rabbi Meir Rubenfeld says it's especially important after 2 gunmen opened fire on a Hanukkah event at Sydney's Bondi Beach.
And especially today, when we woke up with that news, our job is to spread extra light, and that's why this parade is so important. We're spreading light throughout St. Paul because we always need extra light in this world.
It's not the first time that we've been attacked. The darkness has reared its ugly head. We don't chase away darkness. with sticks and stones, but with light.
The parade route ends at the state capitol for the Grand Menorah Light.
That God has granted us light, and Jews across the world, 15,000 locations, are going to be kindling the menorah tonight, some in warmer weather than this.
Despite the cold, a warm welcome to the first night of Hanukkah.
Hanukkah continues through Monday, December 22nd. Every night, another bulb will get lit here at the state capitol. In St. Paul, I'm Heidi Wigdahl, KARE 11 News.
Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.